everyone, this is Rift, your friendly neighborhood weeb speaking, and welcome back to Terraria. In today's episode, I'm going to be preparing a little bit before taking on the guardian of the dungeon himself, Skeletron. Last episode I killed the queen bee and I was able to make bee armor, which allows me to summon not one, not two, but 3 minions at the same time. I also picked up my relics in preparation for a future trophy room and then spent more money reforging my fledgling wings. After this, I headed over to the jungle, and I destroyed the useless arena I built last time. I was going to start working on a pylon network which would allow me to teleport around the world. Pylons can only be bought from happy NPCs, and usually they need to be in biomes they like to be happy, but by putting a couple together, we can ignore all that and I can get a pylon anyway. So I built a crappy temporary house in the jungle, and I moved in everyone's favorite couple, the nurse and the arms dealer. I flew away to let them move in, and I bought myself a jungle pylon. I tried to move them back into the house, but it turns out the arms dealer doesn't really like it when people watch him do illegal deals, so I built another house in the middle of nowhere and got a forest pylon that way instead. I went back home and then headed back to the jungle, and I decided to move in the Dryad and the Witch Doctor into my crappy little house. Following this, I then wandered over to the snow biome, where I built yet another crappy little house. And I tried to move in everyone's favorite couple again, but they refused to move. So I demolished their house, and then I decided to go do some other stuff while I waited for them to move instead. I finally finished up the arena that was above my house, and it was very lopsided and ugly, but I was planning to build a better one soon enough, so I didn't really care. Back at the base, I went and I got some spelunker potions from my chest, and then I headed to the jungle to search for some treasure. And I was able to find lots and lots of useless bullshit and not a single item that I actually wanted. So I went back home to dump some stuff in the chests and went back for round 2. I found some shoe spikes and lots more useless stuff that I didn't want, and eventually I just gave up and went back home. Turns out that in the meantime everyone's favorite couple had moved into the crappy snow house, so I bought myself a snow pylon and then I moved in the painter and the party girl to take their place. Over to the dungeon, where I tried to build an arena during a blood moon and was bombarded by copious amounts of extremely annoying enemies. I kept building and thankfully my 3 Jimothies were able to keep the mobs mostly at bay. I went back home, gathered some more resources, and then I built the arena a little bit taller, and I was feeling pretty secure now with my 4 layers of platforms. I placed in some honey, and I gathered a whole bunch of herbs, and then I placed in some sunflowers, which would give me a speed boost. I realized I had no glass to make potions, so I defaced the desert, and after flattening it completely, I went back home again. I then checked the wiki for a while to look up some potion recipes, and then I fished. After an ungodly amount of fishing, I was able to make myself another summoning potion, and I collected a few other potions from the chest. It was time for my legendary battle with Skeletron, so I wandered back over to the dungeon, I placed some more torches, and now it was time to fight.